There are many foods which damage our mind. In this video I will tell you about 7 foods which is destroying your mind badly. Make sure to watch complete video, because health is important than anything. Soft drinks. 1. Americans consume more than 13 billion gallons of soda a year, according to the University of Texas Health Science Center at Tyler. Sodas typically contain carbonation, sugar, or fructose, phosphoric and citric acid, sodium and excess calories. Unfortunately, sodas are often a substitute for water and other healthier fluids. Consuming soda yields many disadvantages, including dehydration, high sugar intake, weight gain and calcium depletion. New research links both sugary and diet drinks to potential brain damage. In a follow-up study, the same researchers found that people who drink at least one diet, artificially sweetened soda a day appear to have 3 times higher risk of having a stroke or developing dementia than those who don't drink diet sodas. What is dementia? Dementia is an overall term for diseases and conditions characterized by a decline in memory, language, problem-solving and other thinking skills that affect a person's ability to perform everyday activities. Memory loss is an example. 1. Alternatives to soda. Water will always top the list when it comes to the best beverages to drink. If you want to spice up your water, add some fresh fruit, vegetables, or herbs to it and let it sit in the refrigerator to create an infused drink. You can try cucumber and mint, watermelon and basil, or blueberry and orange. Other low-sugar, healthful beverage choices include herbal tea, green tea, coconut water, or sparkling water. When choosing a sparkling water, make sure to look at the ingredient list and opt for one without any artificial additive or sweeteners. 2. Refined carbs. Refined carbohydrates include sugars and highly processed grains, such as white flour. These types of carbs generally have a high glycemic index, GI. This means your body digests them quickly, causing a spike in your blood sugar and insulin levels. Also, when eaten in larger quantities, these foods often have a high glycemic load, GL. The GL refers to how much a food raises your blood sugar levels based on the serving size. Foods that are high GI and high GL have been found to impair brain function. Research has shown that just a single meal with a high glycemic load can impair memory in both children and adults. Another study in healthy university students found that those who had a higher intake of fat and refined sugar also had poorer memory. This effect on memory may be due to inflammation of the hippocampus, a part of the brain that affects some aspects of memory, as well as responsiveness to hunger and fullness cues. Inflammation is recognized as a risk factor for degenerative diseases of the brain, including Alzheimer's disease and dementia. For example, one study looked at elderly people who consumed more than 58% of their daily calories in the form of carbohydrates. The study found they had almost double the risk of mild mental impairment and dementia. 2. Carbohydrates may have other effects on the brain too. For example, one study found that children aged 6 to 7 who consumed diets high in refined carbs also scored lower on nonverbal intelligence. 13. Trusted source. However, this study could not determine whether consuming refined carbs caused these lower scores, or simply whether the two factors were related. Healthy, lower GI carbs include foods such as vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains. 3. Highly processed foods. Highly processed foods tend to be high in sugar, added fats and salt. They include foods such as chips, sweets, instant noodles, microwave popcorn, store-bought sauces and ready-made meals. These foods are usually high in calories and low in other nutrients. They're exactly the kinds of foods that cause weight gain, which can have a negative effect on your brain health. A study in 243 people found increased fat around the organs, or visceral fat, is associated with Brain tissue damage. Another study in 130 people found there's a measurable decrease in brain tissue even in the early stages of metabolic syndrome. Another study including 18,080 people found that a diet high in fried foods and processed meats is associated with lower scores in learning and memory. You can avoid processed foods by eating mostly fresh, whole foods such as fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, meat and fish. Additionally, a Mediterranean-style diet has been shown to protect against cognitive decline. 4. Aspartame. Aspartame is an artificial sweetener used in many sugar-free products. People often choose to use it when trying to lose weight or avoid sugar when they have diabetes. Some scientists have suggested these factors may cause negative effects on learning and emotions, which have been observed when aspartame is consumed in excess. 1 study looked at the effects of a high aspartame diet. Participants consumed about 11 milligrams of aspartame for every pound of their body weight, 25 milligrams per kilogram, for 8 days. By the end of the study, they were more irritable, had a higher rate of depression, and performed worse on mental tests. 5. Alcohol. When consumed in moderation, alcohol can be an enjoyable addition to a nice meal. However, excessive consumption can have serious effects on the brain. The effect of alcohol abuse in teenagers can also be particularly damaging as the brain is still developing. Teenagers who drink alcohol have abnormalities in brain structure, function and behavior, compared to those who don't. However, moderate alcohol consumption may have beneficial effects, including improved heart health and a reduced risk of diabetes. These beneficial effects have been particularly noted in moderate wine consumption of 1 glass per day. Overall, you should avoid excessive alcohol consumption, especially if you're a teenager or young adult, and avoid binge drinking entirely. If you are pregnant, it is safest to avoid drinking alcohol altogether. 6. Fish high in mercury. Mercury is a heavy metal contaminant and neurological poison that can be stored for a long time in animal tissues. For developing fetuses and young children, mercury can disrupt brain development and cause the destruction of cell components. This can lead to cerebral palsy and other developmental delays and deficits. However, most fish are not a significant source of mercury. In fact, fish is a high-quality protein and contains many important nutrients, such as omega-3s, vitamin B12, zinc, iron and magnesium. Therefore, it is important to include fish as part of a healthy diet. 7. Nicotine. Despite the fact that nicotine is not really a food product, it still wreaks havoc on your brain by restricting the blood flow to this important organ, along with the regular flow of glucose and oxygen. Nicotine not only causes premature aging, bad breath and poses an increased risk for lung cancer, but it also affects the production and the function of neurotransmitters by tightening the capillaries, the tiny blood vessels that play a pivotal role when it comes to your brain function. If you love information, please subscribe my channel.